In today's lesson we're going to have a look around this sheet of music for Walking in the Air, the theme from The Snowman, and it's written in tablature. Now you probably have seen this kind of music before, but if you haven't, it's pretty easy to understand. There are three banks of the tablature, one here and one here, and the lines that are drawn across the page are the strings, okay, and I've labelled them here: the little E string, the B string, the G string, the D string, the A string, and the capital E string, the big E string at the bottom there. And the first thing you can see on the tablature is this 4/4, and if you look up, there's a nice oval up here, and there's some information inside this oval. It says this is the time signature. It tells you to count 4 beats in each bar. So when you see this, you know you've got a count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 beats in each bar. Now sometimes you can see that I've put an and count up here, in here, in here, and what that is, that's a count for a note that comes immediately between 2 beats. So this note here is directly halfway between the beat 4 on this bar and beat 1 in this bar. So when you have a note that's on an and count, it's off the beat, and you'll see that and you'll hear that in a moment when I play it. So that deals with the timing, the counting. As for the notes themselves, well, the notes are these numbers, and you can see a 0 and a 5 and a 5 and so on. Right, the first note you're actually going to play in the tune is this note here, and it's a 0. It's on the little E string over here. Okay, so it's pretty obviously the open little E string. So all you've got to do is find your open E string and play that, and that's your first note. Then you have a 5th fret of the E string, and then a 5th fret of the E string again, 3rd fret of the E string, and you're playing the notes in this order as you see them from left to right. All the notes so far have been on the little E string. There's one at the end here, open E. When we come down to the second bank of tablature, still on that little E string, 5th fret, 5th fret, 3rd fret, 3rd fret, open, and then we drop down to the B string. You see this number 1 is drawn on the second line, the second string, so it's the 1st fret of the B string. You need to find 1B if you've got an easy fret kit on your guitar. And then we go to the 3rd fret of the B string, 3B, and you play that note again down here. On the last bank of tablature, back up to the high E string, you've got the 1st fret, open, open, then 3rd fret of the B, and for the first time we then play the 2nd fret of the G. 2G is the code, so that's your easy fret label will say 2G. Then back to the B string, 1st fret of the B, 1st fret of the B, open B, and your last note again is the 2nd fret of the G. You then see this sign, 2 dots, thin line, thick line, and down here I put in this oval, I've put this sign tells you to repeat from where the sign is round the opposite way. In this case, the beginning. So if you look at the beginning of the tune, you can see the sign, same sign, but it goes the other way, thick line, thin line, and 2 dots. And so therefore you will repeat from the beginning. It doesn't always work that way. Sometimes the sign is in the middle of the tune somewhere, but it just happens to be the beginning. So in other words, you're going to play the whole 9 bars twice. Notice the last bar, there are no notes in it. You just count 4, but you don't actually play anything. And I think that sort of wraps up the sheet pretty well. Okay, we're going to show you what it looks like now on the guitar, and you'll be able to hear it and see it as well. I'm going to start up here on the open little E string, and I'm going to count it as I play it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I've taught this tune a lot over the years, and what often happens is that children and adults come to that, miss out that first note, that open E, and they start on the 5th fret of the E. They just go, but there is that first note in that pickup bar. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and. So that note on the and count, that open E, is very important. And 1, and 2, and 3, 4. And again, that note comes at the end of the first bank of tablature. Open E there, going into the next line. Okay, so you've got open E down to 5th fret. 0, 5, 5, 3, 3, 0. So watch out for those pickup notes. There's one there at the end of the first bar, one at the end of the 3rd bar, one at the end of the 4th bar, one at the end of this bank of tablature here, and one here as well. So there's a few of those pickup notes. Don't forget to play them. Also, you may not understand these vertical lines underneath. They're kind of left over from normal musical notation. If you can read normal music for the piano or the recorder or the violin, you may understand these. And if you can't, you probably won't. Don't worry about them though, because you probably know how the tune goes anyway. And in any case, you've got the counting on top. So I think that's pretty much it, and I hope that helps you.